A quick disclaimer before today's video. This is a showcase of a new tool I think is super useful that I want to become popular and more developed. In no way am I receiving sponsoring for this video, but I'm totally fine with a partnership if you guys want to, hit me up or anything like that. Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Quarbit, your host today for Quarbit Universalis 4, and I hope you're all having a great day being world conquerors. Well, I might like to add that your EU4 experience just got a little bit better because I'd like to introduce Skanderbeg. No, not that Skanderbeg, this Skanderbeg. Wait, what is this, Quarbit? This is EU4, but it's also not EU4? You're right, this is a play-along complete overview of pretty much everything that has happened in your EU4 games. No, I am not joking. This is probably the most advanced piece of technology for mapping, making time-lapses, collaborating, making fake wiki pages, and most noteworthy, making a complete timeline and interactable overview of any multiplayer EU4 game. Holy hell, that was a long sentence. Since my trade guide is probably going to need another week to work on, I thought I'd cover Skanderbeg today. So, here I have the site up and I've just sung enough praises to last an entire Bat Out of Hell album. So, what does it actually do? I could explain it, but I think it'd be a lot better if I show you its features instead. So, all you have to do is type in www.skanderbeg.pm to find the site, and if you're too lazy to type in the 17 characters, I totally understand, so there's a link right below in the description for you too. Anyways, once you're there, you can start off by clicking the Patreon button because you'll want to donate pretty much right away, but while you're waiting for that to load, you might as well just log in. For whatever reason, you can only log in with Steam, which I don't really understand because, Paradox has their own store too. If you're not one of those 0.0001% of people who don't play it on Steam, just go ahead and do that. Then you'll be met with this screen where you can either go to your empty void of absolute nothingness, or you can upload a map. Sometimes staring into the void is quite peaceful, so you can go ahead and do that if you want, or you can actually do something productive and go ahead and upload one of your save games. Now, I didn't say that this site was the best looking thing in the world, nor did I say it was the best running thing ever, but it really does get the job done, to be fair. So, you're greeted with two options. Make sure you choose the right one to make sure you're not smited by Skanderbeg Ghost. But Quarbit, what if I want to upload a modded map? Well, you can check the mods they support on the left, but it's really not that many so far, so you'll have to wait your turn if you want to upload your Game of Thrones fanfic map. It's got the main stuff like Voltaire's Nightmare and Extended Timeline though, so that's pretty impressive so far. So if you've never messed around with your own EU4 files like literally ever, which I mean who hasn't at this point, you'll probably find your save games under your Documents, and then Paradox Interactive, Quarbit Universalis 4, and then your save games. It takes around maybe 5 minutes to upload a save game, so for convenience's sake, I've already uploaded my complete Japan game from a while back. I've made a time-lapse of this game so far, so I'm pretty much fine with showing it right here. There's also a free shameless plug, which you know I have to throw into every single video, so here we go too. Here we are with my map of Japan. You can probably tell as I mess around here a little bit that it doesn't really run super great. I've tested this a little bit trying to figure out why this might be. Maybe it's just from using Chrome, maybe it's my high resolution so it has to render more when I move around. I literally have no idea. Anyways, we can do a whole bunch of stuff right off the bat by looking at our basic political map mode, then moving on to development, then religion and culture. These are all basic things you can do in the game, but 5 of the next 8 map modes are ones that you can't find in-game, making Skanderbeg unique in a few ways. First, we have interest to income, displaying who's in the most debt compared to their income. Then, of course, we have the tech map mode that we can see basically in-game. Next, we have a really intriguing map mode, the idea one. It just displays the number of ideas a nation has compared to the highest possible value at the time. It gives a pretty good idea of any nation's progression on a global comparison. Moving past the player's map mode, we have the Casualties Map Mode. Quite interesting to see how bloody any certain region of the world has been. In my case, you can see that the bloodiest province in the entire world was actually Berry in France. It even works for sea zones as well, interestingly enough. Looking at this map mode was actually a little bit of an eye-opener as to see how many casualties there actually are in any given EU4 game. And you can bet it's definitely going to be a lot larger in any multiplayer game. Speaking of multiplayer games, you can also see the armies of every single country in the game by hitting this button. You can also turn it off if it clutters your screen too much, and then you can also turn on and off the ability to see all the forts in the game if you really want to. The next map mode is unique and especially useful for multiplayer games, and that's the Manpower Development. It basically shows how many troops and manpower a nation can have based on its manpower development. And then we can have another unique map mode that displays how many times a province has been developed. You can see that apparently the AI likes to develop a lot more than I thought. It's It's especially useful because in-game, the number of times a province has been developed only really respects how many times it's been improved by the current owner. So this is a much more accurate representation of actual development made by the AI. Finally, we have one of the coolest map modes in my opinion, the Diplomat mode, with which you can swap perspectives to whatever nation you want to check from without having to boot up EU4. So, if I want to see who I have truces with, I can click on my country and shift perspective. There isn't any difference between truces and allies, so that's one thing I really wanted to suggest as a change. And the whole, full core versus territory core isn't really there, so I'd kind of like to see that in there at some point too. Other than that, the map mode is pretty easy to use and navigate. The most unique part of Skanderbeg though is the ability to share your view with other people. Hitting this little button down here will allow us to export a link to your map in whatever you're looking at to make sharing your maps really easy. There's also apparently the ability to export an image of the map mode you're looking at, but I'm pretty sure that's not quite working as of yet, since every time I try it comes up with weird coding jargon, but when it's really fixed, that'll be really cool. I mean, the whole program itself is pretty much just EU4 without having to wait for the save to boot up, and even more stuff with it too. Exporting maps, new map modes, and oh yeah, did I mention the super extensive combat ledger? You thought I was done? We've barely even just begun here. So here, take a look at this. This is every single goddamn battle I've ever participated in throughout this campaign. Are you not entertained? Not even the extra guy we brought along on the 9th of June 1620 was forgotten about. We've got the outcome of the battle, we have losses, we have the date and where it happened. Damn, all we're missing is what the general ate that morning for breakfast. And if you're one of those guys who likes to make fake wiki articles or time-lapses like myself, don't worry because we have the wars tool as well. With this, you can see every single war that's ever taken place in your campaign. Pretty useful, right? We have the war name, length, belligerence, total casualties neatly ordered into a bar, how important and big the war was in terms of a war scale factor, attrition casualties, and the attacker's KD ratio as well. Listen here though, we can go even further beyond the power of mere troop numbers using the completely unique effective discipline calculator. It's pretty much what it sounds like. It combines every factor that affects an army's effective combat capabilities into one stat. There are a few things left out, of course, like, certain generals or certain advisors and stuff like that, but it's actually fairly accurate. And you can find this stat among a plethora of other stats in the main ledger, and that's really just too much to explore on this site for me to cover absolutely all of it. But if you want a recap of pretty much anything that's ever happened in a campaign of EU4, I really suggest using Skanderbeg. You can sort by continent, compare between save files even, and compare by players as well. There are loads of things you can do with this information that I don't even have the creativity to really suggest myself. I think I forgot the best part actually. Did you know they have a Discord bot too? I mean, it kind of has an anime cat girl for the icon, but if you move past that, it supposedly has a ton of super useful actions for your server. But I'm also pretty certain it's not really done yet, since I couldn't figure out how to add it to my server. I mean, the button's there, but I can't really click on it for whatever reason. Hopefully that gets up and running for the future, since that'd be pretty damn great for EU4 Discord servers. Apparently you can use Skanderbeg as something a little bit kind of like a, cloud storage for games, where you can share it with other people and download them using the Discord bot. So I've shown you what Skanderbeg is, but what's really the purpose? I mean, it's a cool tool for looking at maps and could be used for multiplayer purposes, recounting games and stuff like that. But really, it's what Skanderbeg could be that I'm interested in. Right now, it's a neat little project with enough money to keep servers running. In the future, with enough popularity, I'd love to see a sort of a desktop app that could create the sort of interactive overlays we see with, say, Hearthstone Deck Tracker. I feel like this is a step in the right direction towards something powerful enough to be used interactively during a game to provide easier to understand stats. Maybe I'm dreaming a little bit too much, or maybe I'm just looking forward to the support coming to the other Paradox games too. Hoi, Imperator, and Stellaris are all real possibilities according to the devs, so I'm just looking forward to where the project will be going. So what are your thoughts on Skanderbeg? Will you be using it for anything as it is right now, or will you wait to see what it has to provide in the future? Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below, and while you're looking down below, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. And for more EU4 videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon, since YouTube doesn't really like to give notifications without it. This is Quarbit signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day.